This is the first in a series of tutorials. We'll see how many parts we will need to split this into for completing Word Module 2 project. They call it Word Module 2 Project A. I'm starting this tutorial by reminding you how to get to the files. I've logged on to D2L. From D2L, I went to Mind tab. In Mind tab, I open Word, and here is Module 2. In Module 2, as in all the modules, there's a chapter for reading. There's no grade associated with that. It just helps. There's the project we're going to work on, and reminding everyone that there's also an extra credit training, which also includes pretty much all the steps needed and all the skills needed to complete the project, and it also carries an extra credit. But I will start with the project. When you click on the project, every module has only one project, so the fact that it says Project A, don't let that confuse you. There's no Project B for this module. One module, one project. So it takes me to the page where I start. And right now it took me to step 2 because I've already done this project, so it thinks that I already downloaded the files. If I want to go back to step 1, I click back, and here are the files to download. This is going to be a little different than project 1, where there were only 2 files to download. Now there are 3 files because there's the instruction, as in any project. There is the start file, the one that ends up with _1, and we will save as _2. But there's also one more file called a support file, and we will see its role in the project in the next few steps. In any case, I am using Chrome as my browser, as I highly recommend for everyone to use, because when I use Chrome and I download, I can see those files in the at the bottom. I already downloaded them. They downloaded themselves into my downloads folder, and even though I'm using a Mac, on a Windows computer, it would be exactly the same. For instance, if you use Internet Explorer, which I highly recommend not using, instead of downloading the files, it puts them in some kind of a temporary folder where it's really hard to find them, and students have lost a lot of work that way, where they completed projects but had no idea where it's saved on their computer. At least with Chrome, I know that whatever I download is saved to my downloads folder. I can always find them there. Then I have opened in Word the instructions and the start file. For right now, and actually there is no need to open the support file. When we get to that step, it'll tell us exactly what to do with it. So let's start with the project. I'm in Word. Here is my instruction file. Here is my project file. And as we do in every project, we open the _1, the start file, and we just change its name and save as _2. We have done this on project 1. We're doing this on project 2. We will do this on every project. On the Mac, it's File, Save As. On Windows, the File tab is going to be just to the left of the home, but it'll still have a command called Save As. And all I will have to do in the dialog that opens up, again, it'll look different on Windows, but the same things will be there, is just carefully delete the 1, replace it with a 2, make sure I'm not changing anything else. As the instructions say, on some computers you will see the extension .docx, and on some computers you won't see the extension. Doesn't matter, you don't need to add the extension manually. If it doesn't show the extension, it means it's simply hidden. It doesn't mean it's not there. So I've saved it as _2. So as I like to do, I always mark the things I have done with a yellow highlighter to remind myself that I did them. Yeah, if you don't see the docs file extension, do not type it. The program will add it by itself. To complete the SAM project, you will also need to download and save the support. Did that. but so far not open it. And with the _2 file in the background still open, ensure that your first and last name are displayed in the footer. And the footer is the bottom of every page, and here it is. As you can see, it's kind of grayed out. I can't even highlight it, or I don't want to change it. It's some kind of a digital thumbprint that ensures the good people at MindTap that it's me, that it's my project, that it's not something I got from another student or something, both by the name and by that embedded footer. So I think all the get started steps are done. Let me mark them. Done. Let's start with the project steps. And as always, they start with some kind of cover story. You are writing a research paper on smart cities for your written communications class. The paper must follow MLA format and include responses to comments from instructor Marissa Wang. We will talk in class about the whole concept of the MLA format and citations and what's the point with that. But for right now, we'll just summarize, just to get things done, that when we cite facts in a paper, in any academic paper, we have to basically show that it's not just us saying it. We have to show where we got that information from, and there's an academic format for displaying that. And one of those formats is the MLA format. So to accomplish step number 1, change the citations and bibliography style to MLA, which is done under References. And right here, citation, instead of APA, which is one of the other big popular styles that are used, I will use MLA. It even says the 7th edition of MLA, which is the latest one. As I do that, tiny little things have changed, like where it writes the date or whatever. But for right now, I will simply save that little disk icon, or file save. Or if you're on Windows, Control S, or if you're on Mac, Command S for saving. Cool. Next step. Format. Let's mark step number 1 done. Format, that's step number 2. The title paragraph, Smart City Technology Driven Communities, as follows, to be consistent with MLA format. 2 steps. A, apply the capitalize each word case to the paragraph. To do that, I could do it manually, but that would be too much work. I can highlight the sentence, go back to home, go back to the category, which has to do with paragraphs and fonts and stuff like that. And right here, this icon that looks like capital A and a lowercase a is called change case. And one of the options is capitalize each word. So S is capitalized and C is capitalized and so on. Then remove the space after the paragraph. Now this gets a little tricky because I can see a space, but I can't click on it to remove it. So to remove the space after the paragraph, if this was Windows, there would be a little icon right here for opening all the other paragraph options. You can see that in the training. On Mac, I can see those same options by going Format Paragraph. It'll give me the same window. Again, if you're using Windows, look at the training and it will show you exactly how to get to this window where you see all the properties of a paragraph. And one of the things that you will see in that little floating window is spacing. And right now it says that after this line I have 12 points, and I will change it to 0 by moving the up down arrows or just typing, and then I click OK. That means that after this paragraph, this headline is actually considered a paragraph. There will be no space when I click OK, and here we go. Again, I know that this is one of the places where I'm demonstrating on a Mac and it might look a little different on Windows. To get to that window that I just did on a Mac, it's Format Paragraph. On Windows, there will be a little icon here for opening all the other paragraph options, which will pop up exactly the same window. From that point on, it's exactly the same. Once you see that window, This one, spacing after, it used to be 12, I changed it to 0. Okay, and I can mark A and B as done and move on to step 3. Move the first body paragraph beginning, this is easy but could be a little confusing. Beginning a smart city installs, so it becomes the new second body paragraph. It improves the organization of the content. Or in other words, they want me to switch the first and the second paragraph in the body. Whatever's first will be second, whatever's second will be first. There's so many ways to do that. I will show you what to me is the shortest way. I will highlight the second paragraph, which starts in the United States, 80%, all the way to the word smart, including that little space afterwards. By the way, to see where paragraphs ends and begin, under the home, there's an icon right here that looks like an inverted P. And that's showing and hiding the paragraph signs or the formatting. When I click it, it might look a little weird, but everywhere there's this blue inverted P. That means that someone hit enter. And that tells me where paragraphs begin and enter. This is why they call this line a paragraph, because someone hit enter right afterwards. Here's the end of the first paragraph, and I just highlighted the second paragraph. As I said before, my habit from years is to highlight from the end backwards. Just works better for me. Then what I will do is click hold on anything that was, this is one way, let's see if it works, on the paragraph that I highlighted, and simply drag it right before the A of a smart city and let go. And right now it's exactly what they wanted. I got the paragraph in the United States. It ends with the word smart and there's an enter. Again, I revealed it by clicking this icon. And the second paragraph is a smart city installs sensors and so on. Let me undo, edit, undo. On Windows, undo is Control Z, and on Mac it's Command Z. Let's see if there's another way. I can also cut and paste it, because cutting also copies. So I'll highlight the second paragraph and I will go to this icon that's called cut. No more second paragraph at all. Then I can click right before the very first letter of the first paragraph and paste. And I just achieved exactly the same thing. I highly recommend doing all of this with the formatting revealed or on. Once it's done, I can turn it off. So now the first paragraph says in the United States, and the second paragraph starts with words, a smart city installed. If you did it wrong or it jumped into the wrong place, just undo until it goes back to, right before you think you committed a mistake. Don't forget to save every time that you think you didn't make a mistake. Anything that's not a mistake is worth saving. Save very often. Don't count on it to save automatically for you, although it can, but I would never count on it. Here we go. We just did step number 3. We moved. Good. Find the sentence. The concept of a smart city came to public attention in the early 2000s. After the period, insert a footnote with the following text to provide additional context. And the text they want in the footnote is the idea of a smart city was introduced in 1974. Here's what I like to do, because I just like anyone else, I make I'm not a professional typist. I make a lot of typos. So I'm saying maybe I can copy and paste this sentence. So I actually copy it from the instructions. I unbold it because I know they don't want it to be bold. And then I copy it either from here, from copy, or from edit copy, or from the shortcut, Control C. Now I got this sentence copied, including the space afterwards, including the period. And let's go here and find the sentence they want, which is to the early 2000s, period. After the period, insert a footnote. And I am trying to find, here it is. Concept of smart city came to public attention in the early 2000s. After the period, I move my cursor 1. I've used the arrows on the keyboard to do that. And I want to insert a footnote. So let's say that I don't know where it is. I can go to the insert menu and try to find, here it is. Not footer, sorry, footnote. I guess it's not here. Even I forget sometimes where commands are, but it's either insert or references. Here it is. So in this case, it's under references. Now, there's really two kinds of notes, footnote and endnote. Very simple. Footnote is like a comment at the end of this particular page about this. And endnote will insert a comment at the end of the whole document. They want a footnote, I'll give them a footnote. So as my cursor is blinking in the right place, right after the period, after 2000s period, insert footnote. And here it is. It jumped to the end of this page, typed 1 because it's the very first footnote in this page, and my cursor is blinking, waiting for me to type. Instead of typing, I will go back home and paste. Or Command V on a Mac, or if you're on Windows, Control V is for pasting. If you feel like typing, just to be safe, that's fine. Actually, by typing, I see that kind of messed it up. So I'm not going to take a chance. I'm going to undo, Control C, and actually type it. The idea, oh, that's why I'm on Hebrew. They want the sentence to say, the idea of a smart city was introduced in 1974, period. The idea of a smart city was introduced in 1974, period. Nothing came up, you know, it was squiggly red line, so that means I think I spelled everything right. Just looking at the wording, that's what they want. You know what? Instead of copying and pasting, maybe it's the long way, but it's the safest way to actually type whatever they want you to type. Save. And I think we are done with step number 4. Let's do step number 5 and see if we can, if we'll stop after that for the next part of the tutorial. Let's do this. Find each instance with a word phase and replace it with generation to use a more prevalent term. So somewhere in the document, I believe last time I did this, there were like 5 times where there's the word phase, and I want all of them to be replaced with generation. So this is again where Mac and Windows are a little different, so I will be doing this on a Mac, and I will be guiding you to where it can be found on Windows. So on the Mac, find and replace is found under the Edit menu. Actually, let me move this to the center. I also have a box here called Search in Document. On Windows, under Home, there should be an icon here. Last time I checked for search, find, and replace. I'll say this again. The training will show you. The training is exclusively. It's only for showing things on how they're done on Windows. You know what? By the beginning of the next tutorial, I will find out exactly where that icon is on Windows. But for right now, I'm going to do it the Mac way. Find, replace. This opened is the find and replace pane, or the find and replace little window, and I will type phase, and I want it to be replaced by, see how it's found a bunch of places where it says phase, and I will replace it with generation. So that means that even when it finds phases, it'll replace it with generations. When I click replace all, it should report